What is a problem statement and how is it so important for an MS and PhD research? Problem statement typically appears in nearly every dissertation or thesis that I have read and I have come across. Now, this problem statement typically under that heading we see several paragraphs, which is actually contradiction in meaning of a statement versus statement. So, that the section does not say that it is problem statements, it says it is a problem statement. Anyhow, those paragraphs simply lay down the groundwork for establishing what is the problem statement. So, as the word suggests, problem statement is one statement. It should not be two statements, it should not be three statements, it should not be a paragraph. The problem statement should be a single one statement. And why it is so important? It is important for various purposes. First of all, your research stands on the foundations of that problem statement. If your reviewer, your evaluator, your thesis examiner can understand the problem and can estimate the extent of that, the scope of that problem, that examiner is making a comparison with whatever his or in her mind is the scope of a problem that needs to be addressed by that MPhil research or their PhD research. It is this estimation that makes the examiner biased or actually overcomes that hurdle. I typically say that the problem statement refers to the existence of your research. If you can convince the examiner, if you can convince the evaluator that this problem is worth working on, then you are gone. The rest will be easy. But if the examiner, if the evaluator is not convinced about the validity or the extent or the issue involved in that problem statement, then your defense is typically doomed, because then that examiner or evaluator is going to do nitpicking. It will pick up odds and all kinds of arguments to defeat it. So, basically your challenge in those few sentences that you start your program, your presentation or your research, where you establish what is the problem that you are working on, is the ontological existence, the reason why your research exists. If you can not convince of the evaluator about the reason of the existence of your research, it does not matter how much work you have done, how many interviews you have done, how much big sample you have done, how interesting and how fascinating methodology you have adopted, because the evaluator or the examiner is not yet convinced about the importance of that problem. So, a problem statement is a make or break moment for your research. It determines whether your research should exist or not. As I mentioned earlier, this problem statement has several other features that you need to look at. First of all, the problem statement is typically a negative statement. I often see where the students simply write that there is a need for this information, there is a need for this thing, there is a need for that thing. The need for a certain thing is not a problem. We need so many things in life, but that is not the problem. The problem is the thing for which a particular thing is needed, and you need to point out that problem. So, it is some kind of a lacking, it is some kind of a deficiency, it is an issue that is being faced, it is lack of framework, it is lack of theory, it is lack of speed, it may be lack of efficiency, it may be lack of effectiveness, it is some kind of a negative statement that should be there, and it should be formulated as a negative statement. There is a lacking, there is a problem, there is a concern, there is a shortcoming that is making it difficult or harder to solve this kind of an issue, and so on. So, the second important thing that you must remember is that it is a negative statement, it is a lack of something, and it must point out what is lacking. So, you need to look out at that negative word. Typically, this problem statement should be very clear through the reading of the abstract. Personally, I think you may disagree. If you cannot determine the problem on which that research is being done from the abstract, from the first few sentences of your abstract, then it is not a good research, and it does not deserve to an award of an MPhil or a thesis. So, I personally think that the difference between a good paper and a bad paper is the ability of the reader to actually get down to the heart of the problem that that paper is addressing or is trying to solve. And this is also often it is also known as gaps, and typically we see today in our research a list of gaps that, or a list of research questions that are being addressed. But all of those gaps, all of those research questions must culminate into an abstraction of one sentence which articulates the problem that you are solving. And if you cannot encapsulate the problem in one sentence, then personally I think you have not understood the problem enough. So, it is an abstraction that also helps the reviewer not as well as yourself to understand whether you have actually nailed down the issue that you are actually trying to resolve. Another thing which is a very important, that it cannot be a vague statement. It needs to be a concrete statement, and the statement should not have words that you have simply picked up from anywhere. Personally, I think that every word that you have used in that problem statement needs to be what I call a loaded word. A loaded word is is a term that has that may have taken a section or a subsection in your PhD dissertation or in your MPhil for an understanding of that term. So, it is a technical term which cannot in the context of your document, thesis or PhD dissertation document, cannot be construed in any other meaning except the meaning that you have formally defined somewhere, and those technical terms that you have used in that problem statement must be there upfront in the keywords section before the start of even before the abstract. So those keywords should have their existence somewhere in the dissertation detail, and these are not just the nouns that need to be concrete, they need to also to be the verbs, because the verbs indicate the methodology that you have done, the action you have taken, the distillation that you have done. So, the verbs will refer to a particular methodology that you have used, and that also needs to be loaded in that problem statement. And typically, when we say that it is concrete, it actually means that it is specifying a relationship which is measurable, which is quantifiable. When I say it is concrete, it means it is measurable, it is quantifiable, and it can be established through some kind of scientific measurement what you are saying. So, once again, I'll again re-emphasize that these are not just vague words, these are not synonyms of something that is in your mind. It is not just something that you spurt out at the moment, it is actually something which has been derived, and typically a problem statement is the culmination of the research literature that you have reviewed, and it is the apex of that literature review which led you to that problem statement. And while you were reviewing the various literature, and typically the count of papers that you typically read in the context of an MS thesis are about 40, 50 for MPhil, and maybe a few hundred in the context of a PhD. And through those you have gleaned those terminologies, you have gotten the research questions and the gaps you have identified, and you have come to the distillation of that problem statement, which is the apex of your literature survey. And as I mentioned earlier, it is the ontology, it is the existence of your research, why your research exists. And very importantly, you have to take a stand. You have to say that such and such thing does not exist, is slow, is hard, is not working, is inefficient. So when you are categorical, when you are using those negative statements in the context of a verifiable sentence, measurable sentence, then you have to take a stand. You are opening yourself to what is known as falsifiability and refutability, which may, and these two terms are probably, I will have another presentation that will be describing these two words. But it should be a refutable sentence, it should be a falsifiable sentence. And remember, when I mentioned that there is need for something, you cannot refute it and you cannot falsify it. But you can falsify something that this pencil is not useful for doing such and such work. Now, this is a verifiable and a refutable sentence. So one can say, no, here is my experiment, I have used 100 such pencils, and you can see that it works in this context. So it needs to be a refutable sentence, it needs to be a falsifiable sentence, and it needs to be one single sentence that is encapsulating the reason of existence of your research.